23.
I mean, this game was so fun for a variety of different reasons. It had its highs, it's had its lows. In the third quarter, to your point, Vic, absolutely a high for the Denver Nuggets, really doing a great job performing on both sides of the basketball. They came out of the locker room. They knew they had to defend. They worked it into the game. And then just the passing was incredible. 37 assists total for the Denver Nuggets in this matchup. 10 assists for 3 different players on this roster. We have a lot to break down. We have a lot to show off with this Nuggets win.
Kids in Utah will talk for years about the deal that Joker did on Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler in the middle. 36 points, 23 rebounds, and 11 assists. Let's go to Chris Dempsey, who's with Joker. They should win. Let's be honest. Utah's not very good. And the Nuggets came through in the second half. Welcome to Nuggets Postgame Live. Vic Lombardi, Katie Wingy. Nuggets were down by 2 at halftime. But in that third quarter is when Nikola Jokic says, all right, enough. 17 points he scored in that third.
I mean, he completely took over. And then Denver's defense also kicked it up a few notches, holding the Utah Jazz to just 23 points in that period. The last 2 third quarters for the Nuggets have been dominant. They've won those periods by double digits. And they've come out of the locker room and they've really set the tone for the second half, despite having a little bit slower defensive starts. As of late, Denver's been figuring some stuff up offensively, and defensively they're putting it together when they need to most.
Time to see who's all in, presented by the Ball Corporation. All in for the Nuggets, aluminum all in. If I had told you, Katie, that Nikola Jokic misses 20 shots in this game, he said it himself. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but look at the final numbers. I mean, that's for missing 20 shots.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. On a typical Nikola Jokic night, what his numbers would look like, given they looked like this, and he missed 20 shots. I mean, so dominant. Missed shots inside that he is accustomed to making every single time. But I feel like almost all of his points were in the paint, other than, his 3 3-pointers. Got to the free throw line a couple times, was creating, obviously, massive triple-double. So finding his teammates all over the glass. It was just one of those nights where Nikola Jokic was everywhere on the floor. His fingerprints were all over this Nuggets win.
He also moves into second place, all-time leading scorers in Nuggets history. He's got a few to catch. Alex English. Don't forget, Alex English was the leading scorer of the 80s for the entire NBA. So he's got about 6,000 and change to catch Alex English in that department. But Nikola Jokic so far with the triple-double, we've got a stat for you later. I can't wait to show you. He and Russell Westbrook providing triple-doubles. Russ was perfect from the field. He did not have a turnover. That's happened twice in the history of the NBA. Twice that a guy's gone for a triple-dub without a turnover or missed shot.
What I loved about Russell Westbrook's performance, and honestly what I've loved when he's started the past couple games, is he's a playmaker first. Like, he's constantly looking for his teammates, using his pace to get inside, finishing when he has the option and when it's available. But he's been a menace defensively, getting out, leading that fast break. But he's also doing a great job of setting his teammates up. I think that's maybe where he's having his most fun, too, is getting everybody involved.
201 lifetime for Russell Westbrook, and Joker, of course, by the time he's done, he'll more than likely catch him. He's at 143. 2 guys on the same team that could put up those numbers. You're going to win a lot of games.
It's to be able to say that we got to watch Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic play together and record a triple-double in the same game. I mean, that's so fun. That's so magical. That's so, it's like we're witnessing some of the best basketball to ever be played.
And get this, for the first time since 1992 in the NBA. 1992, where were you in 92? It's my first year out of college.
I don't want to say.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask again. First time since 1992 that 3 teammates had 10-plus assists in a game, including Jamal Murray, who finished with 10 assists in this game. He also had plenty of points. He finishes with 20 points and 4 rebounds.
He made some really tough shots, too, which Jamal Murray's a tough shot maker, right? But, passing in transition, getting to his mid-range was so smooth tonight, finding his teammates on cuts like that with Christian Brown, getting off and running in transition. Jamal Murray, again, he looked so poised and so put together out there running the show for the Nuggets, getting his teammates in the right proper positions offensively, and he looks different than he has so far this season, and it's kind of been building, it's been percolating throughout the month of December. But Murray tonight, I think, was a really good bow on top of the December present.
Nuggets score over 130 again, 132 points, and that's with a ton of missed layups in this game. But they got just enough to hold off the pesky Utah Jazz. They're now 3-0 against the Jazz this season. Yeah, the face.
I know you give them 121, but the turnovers were down. And overall, the defense was pretty good after that first quarter. But I think because you weren't giving them easy looks, the turnovers.
Yeah, game, right? Don't fuel their break. And to have 37 assists, only 7 turnovers on the road was really important and a big part of this. And obviously, when Nikola, Russ, and Jamal all have 10 assists, that's pretty incredible. That 2 guys with a triple-double in the same game. I know we had that in the NBA Finals a few years ago, but and then that when you don't turn it over, you can finish. We had 34 fast break points tonight to their 15. So it's something we've been harping on, and hopefully we can continue to improve upon.
This seemed like one of Russ's best games in Denver so far. I know he's had a few really good games already, but what can you kind of say just about the way that he has been an on-court fit with so many of these guys?
What's his record as a starter? Anybody know? 8-2. Wow. All right, I'm going to fact check that, Marlon, because I don't trust you at all.
Trust me for once, Coach.
For once. So 8-2, and that speaks to that speaks to his impact. And he had a possession late. He was all over the place, flying around. 17-year vet, 35 years old, and then he ultimately got the steal and finished in transition. 16 points, 10 boards, 10 assists, 7-7 from the field. And he came in here. This is a guy who's the first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. And what I admire so much about him, aside from the leadership and toughness that he brings every single day, is he's got no ego. He says, I'm playing with that guy. I'm going to play through him. I'm going to make him better. And if I do that, that means I'm doing my job to help this team win. And he came here for one reason. That's to help us win a championship. And he hates to lose. And that's what I also love about him, is that he's built the right way. And I'll go to war with Russell Westbrook any day.
Prior to the game, we were talking about averaging 123 in December. The offense has just been awesome. What has taken your offense from one level to the next so far this season?
Well, transition. I mean, we've always been an elite offense, but we've never been a team that's averaging 20 fast break points a night. So to be 31 games into the season and to be the #1 running team in the league. So what that adds is that we know in the half court we got the best player in the world, and we have some really good players around him. I mean, Jamal Murray. Talk about a guy that's really finding his rhythm, playing better, playing more confident, playing both ends of the floor. Michael Porter, obviously, just a super efficient basketball player who had 5 offensive rebounds tonight. Christian Brown, that guy, he said after he had 20 points, he goes, all I did was run and jump tonight. And he ran and jumped really well. But if you can couple a really efficient half-court offense with an elite running team, well, now you're a team that is tough to guard. And so our challenge now is if we can keep that elite offense and just get better one day at a time, inch by inch, possession by possession, one more sprint back, one more sprint to shrink, one more find a body, one less leak out, hopefully we'll start to that will pay dividends on the defensive end.
We were talking about this a little bit before you walked in. This is the first time in the history of the franchise that you guys have won both games in Utah. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't know what that means, but it's a pretty wild stat.
I don't know what anything means in the grand scheme of things, to be very honest. If you want to get really deep and philosophical, I mean, I don't know if like in 20 years is anybody going to even remember this game ever happened. Probably not. But as I said pregame, regardless of the record, regardless of who's in, who's out, this has always been a tough place to play. And our guys were able to stay with it tonight, and obviously we pulled away in the end against a team that is they're playing a lot of young guys. They're trying to find themselves. I think Will Hardy does a fantastic job as a coach. And, right now we're on different paths. And obviously it's good. I think we're 7-3 now in our last 10 games. And hopefully we can find a way to start off the new year on a positive note against a very